let's introduce you to the world and say, so tell us who you are.
So my name is Cole Porter. I am 28 years old. I'm originally from a small town called Portage la Prairie, Manitoba, and I moved out to Calgary in 2007.
I got you.
Yeah, and right now I live out in the Airdrie with my family, and I'm in my 4th year of real estate.
Awesome. And you say family, so how many, do you have kids right now?
I have 2. So I have my daughter who just turned 4, and my son is 5 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, brand new.
Yeah, back in diapers, right?
Right? Yeah, no kidding.
So what did you do before getting into this crazy world of real estate?
So before real estate, I was at U of C. And when I graduated, I was working at Original Joe's. I managed and served there. And then I also worked as an office manager.
Why going into real estate? Why did you make that leap?
So I was working 2 full-time jobs, and obviously it took a lot out of me, trying to pay off student loans, trying to get ahead in life, right? And then I got pregnant, and I knew it was something I couldn't do as a mom anymore, and something had to change. We have a family friend that is from Manitoba, and he's also a realtor, and he's been telling me for ages, Cole, you need to get into real estate. And so I worked my butt off, and I saved enough so I can go on maternity leave with my daughter and to pay for my real estate courses at the same time.
So it was just a leap of faith, but
yeah.
knowing you from as long as I have, I couldn't imagine you not being in this business.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks.
The working with people from kind of our serving days and management days translates so well.
Absolutely. And being younger, I was really introverted, and being in the restaurant industry, it just gave me the confidence to actually talk to people, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So would that then correlate to some of your greatest strengths that you pulled from that career then?
Yeah, absolutely. Being organized, I mean, when you have 14 tables at once, you're trying to help everyone and get drinks and run food and whatnot. It really keeps me organized with my clients.
So far, what has been some of the favorite things involved with being a realtor?
When I start working with clients, I really try to get to know them on a personal level. And sometimes you find out that their situations aren't, like they're not buying and selling real estate because of positive reasons. And it can be a really emotional and stressful time. So for me, the best part of real estate is when, you waive conditions, whether they're buying or selling. You can literally feel the weight being lifted off their shoulder, and they're excited, and it's a really bittersweet moment because you know that your time together showing homes is ending and they're ready to open up the next chapter of their lives.
Yeah, that's a really neat point, because oftentimes you hear of all the positive things that we have to go through. We're helping people trade up, buy their first places together.
Right.
But again, you hit on something that we deal with often, which is there's a struggle involved, or there's a changing of the guard, and you've been able to help them through that situation.
Absolutely. And you know what? The good times are good too, but it's when you have those negative situations and when they turn out good, that's what makes me love my job.
Here is a fun one.
Okay.
So the crazy side of real estate. Ooh. What's some fun things or crazy things that have come up that throughout your career so far?
Every situation is different, right? So you've really got to be on your feet and on your toes and ready for the difficult situations that come up. One that really sticks out to me is I had some clients who were buying and selling. They were moving up to their dream home, and we listed their home, sold it in 3 days, competing offers, we nailed it, right? And we went to go buy the next home, we made an offer, and that's really where it got complicated. So I was touching base with the lender to make sure everything was going well, and no one was responding. And after a few days, your phone calls, emails, nothing. Eventually I walked into the branch because I'm like, this needs to get handled, right? It's very time sensitive. And lo and behold, that representative had been fired. So you can imagine
the stress.
The stress, right? So I spoke to the manager and I said, who's looking after their stuff? No one. Okay, so what do we do from here? So the manager said, I'll look into it, see how, and I'll let you know this afternoon how things go. And that afternoon he called me and said, Cole, your client's unapproved. Right? You can imagine the stress of my clients when they find out that they're not approved for their home, and they've already sold theirs, right? It was really stressful. So I said, you know what, let's sit back a little bit, take a breath, and I took them to my mortgage broker that handles more difficult deals, and he worked his magic and got it done. I don't know how, but he did it. But it was a lifesaver for them.
That's the highs and the lows.
The highs and the lows.
Yeah.
It is, and it's really stressful. And when they're stressed and you're stressed, you can't show them that you're stressed, right? Because they feed off it and they get more stressed, and it becomes a lot of anxiety, right?
It's our job to lead them through this.
Yes.
And then, yeah, you get hit with something from the side, it'll sideswipe them.
Yeah.
But we have to keep composed.
Try to at least, right?
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, that's a scary one. Because
Yeah.
these aren't small dollars, right?
No.
We're not trading stocks.
It's their largest investment, and especially when someone sells their home and they're trying to move up, if there's any complications, it can, it's a lot of anxiety.
I know even as many times as I've traded property for myself, I still get to that same place every time as a client,
absolutely.
right? Yeah. So we can't fault them for that, right?
Yeah.
What is one thing most people don't know about you?
So after high school, I actually was a Rotary exchange student, and I lived in Taiwan for a year. And there I studied Mandarin and Chinese culture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You still have some in you? Can you still pull
then. A little bit.
See, there you go.
Yeah. So I kept up with it, and actually that's what I studied at U of C was East Asian languages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, very good.
Yeah.
This could help you a lot in your career, obviously.
Absolutely.
Has it so far?
It has, but a lot of Chinese people don't expect a white girl to speak Mandarin, right? So it can kind of be a little surprising, and they're taken aback by it, I guess.
Is this real? Yeah.
Yeah, right? I usually joke around with them, so the first time they say something in Chinese, I might respond back in English, and they go, did she understand that? Or maybe it was just, more of a coincidence, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So, and then the second time they kind of look at each other and they say, maybe she does. And then the third time I speak back to them in Mandarin, and they're like, oh, right?
Now they're besties, right?
Right.
Yeah. Very good. You've had a lot of experience in your kind of 4 years, you said. A lot of different experiences so far. Have you created any kind of real estate niche around kind of a specialty that you either really love working in, or that you've just found that you've done a lot of business around a certain specific area?
So with two niches I really shine in, I feel I shine in anyways, is first-time home sellers, because buying your home, your first home, and selling your first home are completely different, right? And I'm really good at explaining the situation, educating them, and holding their hand throughout the whole process so that they know exactly what to expect. Another niche that I'm really good at is divorces, because both parties are very emotional, it's stressful, and I'm good at having those difficult discussions and keeping the parties working together until they can come to a close and sell.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that first one you said about that first-time seller, actually, again, that's something not a lot of people talk about. It's a lot more difficult going through that than it is your first time buying.
And it's way more stressful. Like when you're buying your first home, it's exciting, and you're moving into your brand new home, and when you're selling, it's a completely different world.
Yeah, you're transitioning through one sale to another.
Right.
You actually, you're quote unquote having to pay the realtor this time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you usually have to sell your house first before you can buy, right? Not a lot of people can buy their second home and then sell. So timing is very tricky too.
For sure. Yeah, oftentimes realtors struggle with how to advise that transition because there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
The same thing with the divorce situations, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, and you really need to make sure that people are working together, and it can be really hard when they're not getting along.
So it sounds like you're not scared of a tough situation.
No, in fact, I think I really shine on it because I can keep everyone in a positive manner and keep them working together. That's all you really need to do, and have those difficult discussions separately and then bring them together. And
sure.
Yeah.
Halftime counselor, right?
Yeah, right? That's what it feels like, but I'm good at it.
Yeah. So you've had a lot of experience on high producing sales teams.
Right.
And you've been off on your own here now. Tell me about that transition and kind of what you learned from that and how you're bringing that into your experience as a realtor now.
Oh, now you're making me think. Well, being on teams, you have that camaraderie, you have the support, and when I went off on my own, you really lose that, and you don't have the people to talk to, the people to bounce ideas off of, and when you're a solo agent, you're very alone, and you don't have that, and that was something that I really missed, and Redline really gives that back to me. But as a brokerage, it's like a team without a team, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we say that often. So it's cool when I hear other agents speak about it.
Yeah, and it was something that I was looking for. It was what I needed. I wasn't ready to jump back on a team because, there's always a head honcho and it kind of runs down, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And I wanted to be on my own. I wanted to have that team without the team, if that makes sense.
And grow your own sense of individuality.
Yeah.
And take the experience that you've gained.
Right, or maybe start my own team too, right? That was one of my goals, future goals.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you have a lot of options in this business as far as taking your career and brokerages and offerings. What made you ultimately decide to come our way here at Redline Real Estate?
When I went off on my own to be a single agent, I was always looking for different classes to take to work on myself and work on my negotiating skills and marketing and all that different stuff. And that's where I really stumbled on Thrive Not Survive. And the first one, I couldn't believe it. All the content that you guys gave for the agents for free, it was unbelievable. And I missed the second one, but then I went to the third. And again, it was just awesome content being produced out for the agents just for free. You weren't asking for anything, which most conferences and whatnot, there's always some kind of snag at the end, right?
Yeah, sure.
But you guys didn't really have that. And I sat beside a woman who had just joined the brokerage, and I was talking to her, and I said, you know, they say that they are a lot different from the traditional brokerage. Is this really true? Like, I was kind of questioning what Redline was really about. And she said, Cole, we've interviewed with 10 different brokerages and nothing compared to Redline. And that was when I was hooked. And I think it was the next week I scheduled an appointment with you. And I wasn't going into it thinking that I was going to move right away. I thought maybe in the new year or maybe later on. But after talking to you and seeing how genuine you were and hearing about the business model, I jumped. I think it was 5 days after, and we were all switched over. Oh, it was unbelievable. My husband was probably stressed more than I was over it.
Yeah, because these can be big decisions. They are big decisions.
They are.
It's complete rebrand personally, and again, now you're shifting focus and I think trust in a new set of leadership.
Right.
And you always wonder, well, what's that going to look like to me and to the consumer side, the people that like and trust me.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
And I think a lot of traditional brokerages, they promise a lot and they really fall short on things. And whereas Redline, so far, I am so excited to be there.
Yeah. We're excited. You're the perfect fit as well. So, yeah. But yeah, it can happen quick, as you mentioned. Mm-hmm. So what should your current clients and your, what we say would-be clients, the ones that you're going to be gaining as you continue to promoting yourself, what should they know about working with you, but now backed by or powered by, I guess, Redline Real Estate?
Redline provides the agents so much support that now I can give a lot more focus to my clients. I don't have to do the paperwork. I don't have to do the small, tedious things that a traditional agent would have to do. So Redline gives us a lot more time to focus on our clients, right? And that is huge when you are working with multiple clients.
I find too, when, again, I'm a practicing realtor as well.
Yeah.
The idea that I get more time and now I can be more proficient at the items that our clients really need us for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that was one thing that I really liked about Redline. When I first started real estate, I really looked for a mentor and a team that could show me the ropes, right? Because that's really important, especially in your first year. And when I left my original team, my mentor was amazing. But when I left that team, I struggled trying to find that mentor again. And coming to Redline, I mean, the founders, you're all top producers, right? So now I don't have one, but I have four mentors that I can ask questions to, or because there are those difficult situations where it's one of a kind and it hasn't come up, but you can collaborate with other people and get their expertise.
How about just the experience of being around, interacting with the others at the brokerage?
You know what, it's been awesome. I mean, everyone kind of binds together. Everyone's open to collaborating with each other, working together. They want to go door knocking. Let's invite everyone. Who wants to come and who wants to succeed more? We have certain groups that, we have higher expectations, so we hold each other accountable. It's awesome. It's like a team without a team again. What's
been, I guess, if you were to peg it down to one thing, which might be hard, but what would be one of the most exciting things about now being a part of the brokerage and being here at Redline?
So again, it's the mentorship. That's really something that I looked for. And besides that, the marketing and the innovation. I mean, having that support so that I don't have to put on my marketing hat all the time, or the graphic designer. Like, he has been top notch, and we have a fantastic photographer, right? All that it takes so much off my plate that now I can really focus on selling.
I think people don't realize how many hats we wear in today's world as a realtor.
True.
And when you can remove a few of them and leave them to tried and true experts, again, it kind of gives you time and energy and probably, I find, a renewed focus on what I do best.
Right. And people don't get into real estate because they think they're really good at marketing. People get into it because they're good with people.
What's unique about our model that you know that's going to tangibly add to your success as a realtor kind of right out the gates?
Absolutely the marketing. That's one thing, and the way that the brokerage supports agents. I mean, once the consumers and the agents actually catch wind of what Redline is doing and how they're changing the business model from a traditional brokerage, Redline is going to explode, and that is something that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Yeah, that's exciting. I can't wait for that too, because we find that we're pushing the limits on things all the time, and our agents like yourself are embracing those changes.
Yeah.
And they're getting ahead of the times with the brokerage.
Yeah, and you know what, in Calgary, I find that everyone's doing the same thing. All the realtors, all the brokerages, nothing is different, and Redline really strives to be different. They strive to be ahead of the game, and that's huge.
You said something about early in your career, you know, mentorship is so huge, but here you are 4 years in and we still speak the words mentorship. And in my mind, you've got a different set of challenges as you go through your career. And we've always embraced the idea that no matter where you are as an agent, we're going to be able to find the right mentorship for you.
Right.
And we're not painting you guys with the same brush, because we want to make sure you all have something for your toolbox to add. Can you comment a little bit about the varying degrees of mentorship and maybe where you're at and why our brokerage is still going to be here for someone experienced like yourself?
Well, when you first start, you need a mentor to teach you how to open a lockbox, how to write a purchase contract, because you don't learn those really in the education, right? And then as you grow to that kind of mentorship, and you need someone to keep you accountable, to make sure that you are doing your numbers, to help you with your marketing, your farming, all that stuff. And that's where Redline really steps in. It's taking the agent from where they are and just moving their business up, because you kind of plateau, right? You plateau and you're like, I don't know what else I could be doing with my business to help it grow, and Redline just helps you break out of that plateau.
And oftentimes you have to look outside of your brokerage
Absolutely.
for resources and coaching.
Yeah.
And again, there's tons of that out there. We would say not to not consume those items, but again, if we can do that from within, again, bottom line matters, right? For us as realtors, it's easy to spend money in this business.
Absolutely. And you get to know each other on a personal level too, right? Like, we interact in person, you know, we have our meetings. I think we meet, 3 times a week between the brokerage meetings, our personal meetings, and the Achievers meetings, right? So it's a lot, and it helps you grow. It really does.
It gets fired up.
Yeah, right? It gives you motivation. And again, when you're on your own, you're really distant from the brokerage, and you don't find that motivation.
I don't know how many realtors I speak to that are solo agents out in their career, and they're a little like they're floundering a little bit because they don't have a direction to go. And being independent contractors, no one's going to hold us accountable.
Yeah.
You know, your spouse might. But
Right, but if I'm at home and I'm thinking, oh, you know, I should probably be prospecting, you know, but I've got laundry to do or something else, no one's holding me accountable, and no one knows if I don't do anything, right? Whereas if you have that team that's like, hey, Cole, what are you doing? Did you make your numbers? You know you have someone that's going to push you.
yeah, we're vested at a level of we want you to succeed, and you want your client's experience to be enhanced. So I think we feel that our agents know that we're there pushing them day in, day out, not sitting back as a passenger in their journey.
Right.
We want to be active with them.
And we have all these different communications, so that if I do have questions about mortgages or any kind of contracts or writing terms, the response rate is awesome. You know that you don't have to wait a few days to get back, right? Whereas the traditional brokerages, a broker is handling 200 agents. They don't have time to talk to all of you, right? Whereas this, you can really get that one-on-one time.
Has it been an issue that leadership is actively trading for you in this business? Right, so we're still selling homes and still writing deals alongside you guys. Has that been something that you think is a benefit to your career? I guess something that you wouldn't want in your brokerage?
I wouldn't not want you to, because how can you go to someone and ask questions when they're not doing deals, right? If they only do 1 or 2 deals a year just to keep in the business, they don't really understand the different kind of situations that come up. So the top producers, you know that their game is 100%, right? Like, they're doing a lot of deals, and that's because they're good at what they do. And that's who you want to learn from, not someone that's doing 1 or 2 deals. I'm just looking for brokerages, and I've been with a few, and they all do the same thing, and I was really disappointed with them. And coming to Redline, like, I've been just so grateful and excited to be with this company because nothing is like it.
We feel like we got to continue to sharpen our pencils for our agents because the expectations are high.
Yeah.
But we're up for that challenge.
Yeah.
And we're here to take your career to heights that you might not have thought possible beforehand.
Yeah. And you blow any other traditional brokerage out of the water. 100%.
So it's time to go hit those big goals of yours, right? That's going to be no problem, I can tell.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Well, again, I'm so excited you're here. I think your clients are going to be so happy and thrilled that you're putting your full backing behind kind of your business now. Again, watch this girl because she's going to kill it.
Thanks, Darren. You're so sweet. How was the hug? Was it an awkward hug?
That's the only hug to do is the awkward hug.
Yeah.
I love it. Awesome.